Hey everybody, it's Mary Z back once again for Voice Hacks. Today we're going to be watching and reacting to metal singers and screamers on idol shows. Today's episode is called Metal Idols Part 2, The Screamening. So I'm back once again, guys, with another reaction video. And you know that since I'm a voice teacher, I actually go through and explain what they're doing and give you guys a little helpful hints. If you watched the first Metal Idols reaction that I did, part 1, I actually explain a lot of how to audition for an idol show. But this one, I'm going to do more of reacting and explaining. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody who's been subscribing. We're going to hit 65,000 subscribers pretty soon. I can't thank you guys all enough for sharing everything. And I've wanted to answer a couple questions. I don't usually talk about myself in these videos at all, and I got a few questions with some of my latest reaction videos, like, you're actually a voice teacher? Yes, I'm actually a voice teacher, a vocal instructor. I got my music degree at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, where I studied voice, and I actually studied classical singing, so I learned about pedagogy and how to teach all this stuff. And also in college, I became a metal vocalist and have learned how to belt and how to scream, and I've studied these techniques for many years and have been teaching people for over a decade. I teach people on Skype from all over the world. Here we go, Metal Idols Part 2. First person we are going to check out, this is actually what prompted the Metal Idols Part 2 video, was this girl, Stephanie Stuber. Her audition for The Voice in Germany kind of went viral a little bit because of the fact that she did a Lamb of God song and she was screaming. So we're starting with The Voice Germany with the singer Stephanie Stuber. So that was really cool. One of the things that super surprised me about this video was that she was actually inhale screaming. So a lot of you guys have learned the different types of screams from my video tutorials, and I've explained how we make these sort of what we call like voiceless screams. Normally, the original vocalist for the song Randy Blythe from Lamb of God is a fry screamer. Inhale screaming and fry screaming are two types of closed chord distortion screams. Obviously, one is done exhaling and one is done inhaling. This is part of why she was actually struggling in the beginning, because it's, number one, much harder to inhale scream and get it to sound right and to sound really distorted. And number two, it's very dangerous. I actually don't advocate this at all. Stephanie, come to me and learn fry screaming because it sounds the same pretty much. Some of you guys have seen me fry scream in some of my videos, and you've even said it sounds like inhale screaming, because it pretty much does. Why shouldn't we inhale scream? Just because we can fry scream, so we don't need to, number one. And number two, your vocal folds are not designed to handle suction resistance. We do inhale, but our cords are not shut, so we're not, whenever we normally inhale, we're not like causing suction on our vocal folds. When we close them and we try to scream through them, then we're causing some kind of suction. Think of almost like a hickey, but on your vocal cords, except for your vocal cords are a mucous membrane, like the surface of your eye, and they're not like the surface of your skin. So it's going to break the surface most of the time, and you really risk having some serious vascular injuries and have vocal fold hemorrhaging or bruising or bleeding if you're an inhale screamer. Her clean singing was outstanding, and she obviously has a really healthy, clean singing voice, and it sounded amazing, actually. So that's actually part of what started to make some of the judges turn around, because even though the screaming's great, we have to remember that it's still screaming, and that screaming doesn't necessarily appeal to like a mass audience. It might get like some viral views. I think it's pretty cool. I really wish her luck. I hope she gets far on The Voice. I actually don't keep track of The Voice Germany, so I don't know if she's actually kept going or what's going on with that. And the next vocalist that I'm going to look at, I asked for suggestions in my Voicehacks Facebook group on who should be in Metal Idols Part 2, and I actually did not look at these in advance. I usually do to see what people are doing and to kind of make sure I know what's going on. In this case, I'm actually going out on a limb and I'm going to look at them and react to them for the very first time right here on camera. So the first one that I'm going to look at looks like it was from The Voice in France. It's a guy doing a song by Necrophagist called Stab Wound. Let's see how this sounds. So that was pretty interesting. I definitely want to say that I think he was doing what sounds like what I call false chord screams. That's kind of a voiceless scream with the vocal cords open, where we're flapping around the false chords and the soft palate, but they also don't go very high and they don't go very long. And kind of just the phrasing he was doing, the pitches he was doing, the way the sound sounded leads me to believe. In this particular video, it did take someone till the very end to turn around, because even in Europe, extreme vocals aren't exactly the first pick for an idol show, but it is cool because somebody did turn around for him at the end, at least. Let's check out another one and see what we have. Okay, the next one is a suggestion from The Voice of Mongolia. We're going to check out what kind of screams. I have no idea what to expect, so let's take a look. Wow. In that one, I'm going to be real, you guys. I think there's a whole bunch of things going on. I'm not entirely sure, though. But it sounds like this guy was doing like 3 different things. It sounds like a lot of his stuff was inhale screaming. Half of it was fry screaming. And a couple of the parts sounded like false chord screaming. I think, though, that's kind of why the screams don't sound like amazing. And his lows were pretty sick, actually. But there were some types of sounds, again, where he was struggling. And in this case, somebody did turn around for him once again at the very, very end. People are just sitting there, I think, a lot of times during these shows trying to process these vocals. We have to remember that people who don't listen to metal and don't do this stuff, this is really strange sounding to them. And they oftentimes have to like process this stuff. So I have no idea what song that was or who that was by, but that was pretty interesting. And I don't really know who the guy with the singer's name was. If you guys know, put his name in the comments. So the next person we're going to look at on Metal Idols Part 2 is from The Voice Myanmar. Really interesting. And it looks like this person's name might be Novem Hutu. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm having trouble pronouncing the name. But he's going to do Spit It Out by Slipknot. Again, these came to me from suggestions, so I haven't looked at this one. This is the first time. Let's see how the Slipknot sounds.
Did you never get the day the phosphorus maybe saw you the tips cause this is so audible I got the promise of the thought I can but I don't care if some of you way you talk such on the road to a death of the table be right from the simple side is dead of the dark to the those days are down the one once it is a piece of the ground turn to me as well I try to push it just in the top with the trouble I'm not sad the side of the bright on the run when it's something else sad and gonna breath gonna bear the weight for drug say no but I am the spine I wanna do dirty down. I wanna do that to how. What's bad? Yeah, I wanna do dirty down. I wanna do that to how.
Whoa, that was totally crazy. Here's the thing. I'm not actually sure about the lyrics in this one. I'm not sure if all the lyrics were exactly right, but what's really awesome is the vocal performance. Especially once he started to get into it, he really started nailing these fry screams. So this is definitely not inhale screaming. It's like fry screaming and combining like what I call voice with distortion, raspy shouting, hey, kind of whatever. So he did a really good job, actually. That was really excellent. This guy got a lot of judges to turn around right away. And I think part of it is because his screams were really tight. Super impressed. I hope he does well. It'd be cool to see if any of these people come up with bands. These are all awesome ones so far. Don't forget to let me know what you guys think below. And if you have any suggestions for Metal Idols Part 3, check out Metal Idols Part 1 to see what I've already done. But definitely put it in the links in the comments. Let's take a look at just one more today on Metal Idols Part 2. The last one we're going to take a look at is a singer named Rocio, who comes from The Voice Spain, La Voz. And I have no idea what to expect because this was under the suggestions of a metal vocalist, but the song is Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. So I'm not really sure what to expect here. Again, these came from the suggestions, so I'm trusting you guys with this one. So let's check it out and see what kind of metal screams did somebody do with a Lady Gaga song.
I want to draw my on the touch of your hand. I want your land, I stood a kiss in the sand. I want your love. You know that I want you, and you know that I need you. I want it bad, you're bad, romance. I want to love it, I want to live it, you and me. Got it bad, romance. I want to love it, I want to live it, you and me. Got it bad, romance. Whoa, ah, 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 do it, bad romance. Whoa, ah, ah, whoa, got it, bad romance. I don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends. Want to be real good. Want to be romance. I want to love it. I want to revenge. You and me, but it's bad romance. I want to love it. I want to revenge. You and me, but it's bad romance. Ra ra la la, Roma Roma ma ya ya la la. Want to be romance.
Wow. Okay, so that one totally threw me for a loop. To me, those were really cool false chord screams. And I thought that they kind of reminded me of Angela Gosso's screams from Arch Enemy. So it was pretty cool. But wow, totally was surprised to see that. In this case, the false chords were super impressive and there wasn't a lot of clean singing, but it sounded like she could clean sing. So if she incorporated a little bit of that, maybe some of the judges would be a little bit interested in it. I'm not actually sure, again, how far any of these people went on any of their performances. Let me know if any of these folks have bands or anything we can check out. Put links below. This time was really good. We didn't get anybody who was really bad. The first Metal Idols, we had some doozies in there. But for the most part, it's amazing to see all of these super talented metal vocalists on these mainstream shows. Let me know what you guys want me to check out next. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Instagram. Links are below. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you soon.